Deeper connections. Having few friends creates the foundation for genuine intimacy that large social circles cannot sustain. Human cognitive capacity limits how many people we can truly know. Something called Dunbar's number. Research on Dunbar's number suggests our brains can maintain only about 5 deeply intimate relationships simultaneously. When you concentrate your social energy on a small group, each friendship receives the attention required for meaningful connection. The primary advantage is quality over quantity in every interaction. With few friends, you have time to actually track life details, remember previous conversations, and show up meaningfully during important moments. You know their fears, not just their job titles. You understand their patterns, can read their moods, and maintain continuity across years. This depth of knowledge creates relationships where you can be truly seen and understood rather than superficially known by many. The trade-off is missing the breadth of perspectives and experiences that larger networks provide. However, those who prioritize depth report higher relationship satisfaction, stronger emotional support, and friendships that genuinely shape their lives rather than simply populate their social media. When you're not spread thin across dozens of connections, you can invest in relationships that actually matter. Depth beats breadth every time. More energy. Social interaction consumes cognitive and emotional energy, and this resource is finite. Every friendship requires maintenance, communication, emotional labor, remembering details, showing interest, and managing expectations. With a small friend group, you have substantially more energy to give each person and more reserves remaining for yourself, your work, and your other priorities. The hidden advantage is showing up fully present instead of performing while depleted. When you're not spread across dozens of relationships, you can actually be there for people. Listening completely, engaging genuinely, offering real help rather than surface-level pleasantries. This is especially crucial for introverts and ambiverts who find social interaction inherently draining. A small circle means you're never making exhausting appearances or maintaining friendships out of obligation while running on empty. You may miss out on the energizing aspects of diverse social stimulation that works for extroverts. However, when quality matters more than coverage, energy management becomes a strategic advantage. Less drama. Drama and conflict increase exponentially with group size because the number of potential relationship dysfunctions multiplies with each additional person. A group of 3 has 3 potential conflict pairs, but a group of 10 has 45. Small friend groups dramatically reduce exposure to interpersonal friction, gossip circulation, miscommunication, and the exhausting politics of larger social networks. The primary advantage is both reduced conflict and steadier emotional baseline. With fewer people in your life, you avoid friend group politics, taking sides in others' disputes, and the telephone game distortions that create misunderstandings. There's no gossip circulation where information gets twisted through multiple retellings, no group chats without specific people, and no making plans that accommodate everyone's individual fights. This simplicity also stabilizes your mood. You might miss the social protection that numbers provide or lack allies during conflicts, and small circles aren't free of drama either. However, those with small circles report dramatically less time spent managing drama because the drama is usually smaller as well. Lower maintenance. Large friend networks create invisible administrative burdens, tracking dozens of birthdays, remembering life updates, maintaining expected check-in frequencies, and attending events out of obligation rather than desire. This social maintenance work consumes time and mental energy while often feeling performative rather than meaningful. Small circles eliminate most of this exhausting social labor. The hidden advantage is converting relationship maintenance from administrative task into genuine investment. With few friends, you're not juggling a complex calendar of obligations or keeping up with people you're lukewarm about. There's no pressure to attend every event, remember every detail, or maintain appearances with people who don't deeply matter to you. The relationships you do maintain receive actual attention rather than checkbox maintenance. You may be perceived as antisocial or face judgment for not maintaining broader networks. However, when friendships become investments rather than obligations, both parties benefit from genuine rather than dutiful attention. Self-knowledge. Having few friends creates substantial solitude, and solitude is where self-knowledge develops. When you're not constantly shaped by others' opinions, energy, and expectations, you have space to process your own thoughts, understand your patterns, and distinguish your authentic preferences from group consensus. This self-knowledge becomes the foundation for choosing better relationships and living more intentionally. The primary advantage is developing a clear understanding of who you are independent of social context. More time alone means more opportunity for reflection, creative thinking, and processing experiences without immediate social feedback. You learn what you actually think versus what your social circle thinks. You understand your needs, boundaries, and values with clarity that constant social immersion often obscures. This self-knowledge makes you better equipped to recognize compatible people when you meet them. The risk is isolation or losing social calibration if taken to extremes. Though the same goes for groups that can radicalize by social calibration. Balance is key. Selective trust. When you maintain few friendships, each slot becomes valuable, making you naturally more selective about who receives close access to your life. This scarcity creates high standards. Not everyone gets in, and those who do have genuinely earned their position through compatibility, reciprocity, and demonstrated trustworthiness. This selectivity is self-protection and intentionality, not elitism. You're not collecting friends for social proof or filling a roster, you're curating genuine compatibility. People who make it into your small circle have passed implicit tests of character, reciprocity, and alignment with your values. This creates relationships built on solid foundations rather than convenience or social expectation. Your inner circle truly knows you and can be trusted with vulnerability. Others may perceive you as closed off or difficult to befriend. Authentic bonds. Friendships maintained across small circles survive without convenience or obligation as their foundation. These relationships persist through life changes, moves, career shifts, relationship status changes, proving they're based on genuine choice rather than circumstantial proximity. This authenticity creates bonds that weather time and distance because they're rooted in real compatibility. The primary advantage is knowing your friendships are chosen. You're not friends because you work together, live nearby, or share a social circle. The relationships exist because both parties actively choose them, despite lack of convenience. This removes the question of whether someone tolerates you out of obligation versus actually values your presence. Friends who stay when convenience disappears reveal themselves as genuine. You may lose touch with people during life transitions more easily than those with larger networks. But again, when relationships survive without convenience, you know they're real, chosen, not circumstantial. Schedule freedom. This is probably the biggest of them all. Small friend groups create dramatic schedule flexibility that large social networks cannot match. With fewer people to coordinate, you avoid the exhausting calendar Tetris of juggling multiple commitments, group chat negotiations about plans, and the administrative nightmare of organizing group activities. This freedom extends to everything from weekend plans to major events like group vacations. You can say yes to last-minute opportunities, spontaneous trips, project sprints, or simply rest without complex social coordination. Planning becomes simple. 2 or 3 people can decide on a vacation destination in one conversation, while groups of 8 or 10 can spend months negotiating preferences, budgets, and schedules. Anyone who has tried coordinating a large group vacation knows this headache intimately. The endless group chats, the inability to please everyone, the person who changes their mind, the compromise that satisfies no one. I'm thinking of a downside to this part, but there really is none. If you've found freedom in keeping a small circle, you might also appreciate the advantages of skipping another social expectation. Check out our video on the hidden benefits of not celebrating your birthday.